video of a California Highway Patrol officer beating a woman on the side of the highway has gone viral and captured the attention of the nation. By all accounts, we need to warn you that for some, this story just might be too disturbing to watch. Here is Sarah Seidner with the video and the man who caught it all on his cell phone.
Video from a California freeway shot by a driver stunned by what he was seeing unfold. A woman being punched over and over and over again by a California highway patrolman.
And you see it, you heard it. It was like thump, thump, thump. And then you hear her head bouncing, bam, bam, on the concrete.
How many times did he hit her?
Oh, I seen 11 on the video. He took more shots than that. I think it's around 15 shots to her head. And then punching. Like, this is not just jabs. These are hooks. Those are lights out punches. Those aren't like taps.
The Highway Patrol report says the woman posed a danger to herself and other drivers because she was walking within traffic lanes at times. And when she was asked to stop, she continued ignoring the officer's command. And ultimately, she becomes physically combative, it says.
The tape only shows a small part of what transpired. There were events that led up to this. Until all that's collected and put into perspective, we aren't going to be able to make a determination.
The eyewitness, who goes by the name David Diaz, says he saw exactly what led up to it before he started recording.
When you see the video, the first thing you hear is me laughing. The reason why is because before we got the video starting, they were playing like a Ring Around the Rosie behind that red truck. So it's a grown man and a grown woman running around the truck, and it's kind of like a Benny Hill moment, right? She's avoiding him. She's avoiding him. He's trying to like get in. It's kind of like clumsy. It's almost like when we laugh when someone runs on the field in a baseball game.
He says she did eventually start walking towards the officer, and that is when the takedown began.
He grabs her, and she kind of like, does the resistance in terms of like natural reaction. And then he grabs her, throws her to the floor, and then gets on top of her, which then you would think, okay, he's just gonna wrap her up, call it a day, another day in Los Angeles. But no, this wasn't the case.
The CHP says the woman, who carried no ID, was taken to hospital for a physical and mental evaluation.
The report indicated that the individual was not injured and the officer didn't notice any injuries on the individual.
Diaz has a hard time believing that after seeing and hearing this.
So she didn't put up any restraint. She did what anyone else would do when they're getting pounded, is to go like this, to go like this. And now they say, oh, she's restrained. It's an excuse. We're giving too many excuses. There's no more rationalizing this. We need to stop this. And that's why I put the video, when I posted this video.
We're going to make a determination as to what transpired in this situation, and we will do the right thing.
The officer involved has been put on administrative duty while the case is investigated. Sarah Seidner, CNN, Los Angeles.
Wow, disturbing indeed to watch that. Hey, let's bring in our legal guys. They are here, Avery Friedman and Richard Herman, Cleveland and New York. You there, Richard? I gotta always try and keep up with you. You're in New York, yeah?
I'm in Vegas.
Oh, there you go. See what I mean? Okay. All right, Vegas. All right, gentlemen, so let's talk about this. The eyewitness, as you heard him describe, he said, wait a minute, this just seemed uncalled for. Anyone would try to defend themselves. But then, of course, the Highway Patrol is saying while this officer is on administrative duty, they're going to look into whether this was justified or excessive force. So, Avery, what are the components that CHIPS would be, Highway Patrol would be looking into to determine whether this was right or wrong, crossing the line or not?
First of all, the patrol did the right thing in putting the officer on administrative leave. Secondly, they have to do a regular investigation. This is very serious because, in my judgment, at least based on the video alone, and you need much more than that, it strikes me as excessive force. You don't need to, in order to accomplish the objective of controlling a particular suspect or offender, you absolutely do not need to go that far. But again, you need context, and that's exactly what the patrol is going to be investigating.
Right, and Richard, what we do know, at least in the fact-finding of this, is that she was not armed. So, how will it be justified that this is the kind of, force or, this is what you use, even if somebody is not armed or doesn't, I don't know, how do you determine whether they really were a threat?
Well, Fred, courts are loaded with excessive force cases when injuries come as a result of these. We don't even know if this person was injured as a result of this attack by the police officer.
And according
But
to
there's
Sarah
a theory-
Sider's report, she was told that this person was not injured, but
Right.
Well, we
the
don't
eyewitness
know
said,
that.
the eyewitness said hard to believe.
We don't know. But there's a
Yeah.
theory, rule of completeness, and you heard the officer speak of that earlier. We need to see what led up to this and what resulted as a result of this. So we're not sure. You can't just look at a snippet and make a determination. We don't know
Right.
what happened before. And again, excessive
That's right.
force, a lot of cases of excessive force, Fred, but yet have injuries.
Okay, Avery, Richard, thanks so much. We're so glad you were able to chime in on that one. We actually want you to stick around, too, to talk about another case that is very shocking in Georgia. This involving